As a young boy, I loved riding my bike around the farm and the local back roads where I lived. I rode with my brothers. Now, they were great days, innocent days, and I remember being quite fit. Some of those experiences have come back to me this week when we had a visit from our grandchildren from interstate. Now, my grandson in particular loves his bike and rides for hours around the town where he lives. Over the last week or so, everywhere I seem to go, there are bike riders everywhere. This is the week of the Tour Down Under here in South Australia, and there are many who would like to be in on the action. Also, this particular bike race is designed to showcase the area as to show the world what South Australia can really offer. And it's a lot. I'm standing in Port Elliot, where the race will finish shortly. And as I've reflected upon this event, I've been thinking about how we can showcase to the world something which is perhaps more perfect, more beautiful, and that is a transformed life. When I think how I have changed since I rode a bike, I have to say that there's been a significant change in lots of ways. Of course, there are many years in the mix as well. For me, meeting Jesus and getting to know him and then maturing in my faith has been an important part of the change and the growth in my life. I will say that it's been quite a journey, and indeed something that is still happening, still being worked upon. It's not finished. Most of us would say we are still a work in progress. In other words, the Lord has not finished with us just yet. That is what makes it such an exciting journey. Just a note to say, before you hop on a bike, the law states that you must don a helmet. You must put on a helmet, a safety helmet. Why? Well, that requirement is for our own safety and protection, so that if we fall off, at least will have some protection for our head. Now, here's a good question. How can we protect ourselves in life? In the New Testament, in 1 Thessalonians, Paul describes this piece of armour as the helmet of salvation. The helmet protects the head, one of the most important and fragile parts of the body. You get a bump to the head and we know it. Now, this particular helmet that he's talking about protects something even more precious, and that's our soul. The Bible tells us that God sent his son Jesus to die for us so that we can be free from sin. God is not out to get us, as some imagine. Indeed, he wants us to have a fulfilled life. So he has given us a manual for life. That's the Bible. And in this book, he gives us some boundaries which we're not really supposed to cross over. They're there for our protection. That's good news for all who would come to Jesus, asking for forgiveness of sin. Romans 8:31 says, if God is for us, who can be against us? And 1 John 1:9 says this, but if we confess our sins to God, he will keep his promises and do what is right. He will forgive our sins and purify us from all wrongdoing. That really is good news. But I trust that as the week unfolds, that you will have a wonderful week, and remember that you are blessed to be a blessing.